Welcome new executives. We are saddened that we cannot be there with you today to celebrate your new positions, so instead we've created this video to prepare you to take over our company by illustrating the process that we underwent each year to position Best Motor Works for success.
Before we get started on how we formulated our company strategy, let's recap the past 10 years and explain the decisions that made Best Motor Works the company it is today. As you know, our current vehicles on the market are the Butte, Berkeley, Bafo, Buzzy, and Prius. Although we didn't start that way, we have taken great care over the last few years to develop each of these vehicles to meet the needs of each of our different groups of customers. When we came to this company, we had 3 cars, Buzzy, Bafo, and Butte. Although each of these was strong within the customer class they were present in, there was plenty of room to improve these vehicles so that they could become the best top-of-the-line products on the market.
However, we strayed from the focus on our customers and instead tried to introduce innovative new vehicles in order to enter new market segments. Our existing vehicles fell by the wayside as we invested our resources into creating the Berkeley, a family car, the Bonita, a luxury minivan, which seemed great in concept, and the Boss, a high-end luxury sports car. We eliminated the Bafo, a family car with surprisingly strong sales and high margins. With the company's ensuing poor performance over the next few years, we realized that we had lost sight of our company's identity as a low-volume, high-margin model. Instead of trying to create the best products that would meet customer specific needs, we ended up with cars that were averagely suited for every group. As a result, we cannibalized much of our sales in each of the different consumer segments. We also failed to consider our competitors, who focused on developing and upgrading their existing products, caught up to our initially successful products and surpassed them, taking with them much of our customer base.
Finally, 5 years ago, we realized and accepted our mistakes. We abandoned the Boss and the Bonita, brought back the Bafo, and upgraded all of our other vehicles. We took great care to study our customers, our competitors, and the market. Through benchmarking and sales, company, and market analysis, we changed our strategy and are returning to our identity as one of the top companies in the automobile industry.
The most important takeaway we have for you is to never ever forget about our customers and to never assume they will always choose to buy our cars. It is your job to know how each consumer segment values different attributes in the vehicles they purchase. The primary customer segments that Best Motor Works targets are the family class, who look for safety and quality in the cars they buy, the luxury class, who seek out styling with a combination of interior and performance, and our strongest customer base, the sports class, where buyers look for exceptional styling and performance. We are also beginning to target the buyers interested in alternative energy vehicles with the release of our brand new car, the Prius.
To create the best products for our customers, you must understand the customer and know what they want and need. When we first took over this company, we created what we thought to be great products that our customers would also love. But what we wanted wasn't necessarily what they wanted. So know your customer. If you're not sure what they want, find through focus groups. These are the vehicles alongside the closest competitor vehicles. Note that our customer segments are the high-income buyers in the luxury and family class, enterprises in the luxury class, families in the family class, singles in the sport class, and now enterprises in the alternative energy vehicle class. Ensure that you know what the hot buttons are for each customer segment. Know what size of car they want, and know their price range. When you take all these things into account, you can develop the product that directly tailors to them. Then, you will be able to create the best product on the market and give them something they just can't live without.
The hardest part of releasing a new product is finding the correct price that will maintain margins but still produce enough sales to cover our investment. Looking at the Butte, our luxury vehicle, compared to the Climax, the Butte's closest competitor, our lack of a clearly defined strategy resulted in reactive pricing. Though the Climax introduced frequent upgrades with a steady MSRP, we based our prices on the timing of our competitors' products' upgrades, while our own upgrades were few and far between. As a result, our pricing neither maintained our desired margins nor produced the sales to cover our investment. Make sure to examine the margins for each product every period and complete an in-depth cost-benefit analysis prior to authorizing a product upgrade or production of a new vehicle. The margins can be calculated by taking the MSRP of the vehicle, less the dealer discount percentage, and then comparing revenue versus the production cost per unit. You must also analyze the cost of our competitors' vehicles in the same market segment to ensure appropriately competitive pricing.
Every year, you must examine how our vehicles performed in each segment of the market and if any major changes have occurred within its primary segment, such as hot specs or changes in customers' willingness to pay. You also need to evaluate the prices of similar vehicles and compare the attributes against our vehicle. Nearly all of Butte's competitors, whether more or less expensive, received upgrades in period 10. This could hurt our market share in period 11, so we decided to respond with our own upgrade. And throughout the entire process, you must ensure that the margins for each vehicle are maintained so that the company remains profitable.
It's important to benchmark when trying to decide how much to spend on advertising and promotions. In the first few years, we failed to consider how much our competitors were investing in advertising and promoting their products, and how that also affected our own sales. Looking again at the Butte and Climax, you can see where we dramatically dropped our spending on advertising, while that for the Climax was starting to increase. As a result, the Climax had higher awareness and therefore higher sales, and we were forced to more than double the advertising for the Butte to try to catch up and regain market share. You can see the same trend in terms of promotions, where we fell far behind the Climax. However, keep in mind that as a low-volume company, you don't necessarily need or want to spend the same amount in total promotions as a competitor if they're producing twice as many cars as you. However, if you're releasing a new or upgraded vehicle, you'll want to consider increasing advertising to help ensure increased brand and product awareness and therefore increase sales. This may also play into increased firm preference as well.
Best Motor Works has a significant amount of resources at its disposal, but they must be deployed accordingly. We initially set out with the idea that we were investing for the future without a concrete plan of where and how those investments would be realized. Instead of developing a strategy behind how to allocate our resources, we rashly spent $3 billion right in the beginning to develop new products. So, when determining how to allocate your resources and where to invest, take into account specific spending targets based on your gross margin, operating margin, and net income. Also, seek to maintain consistent ratios of marketing and research and development expenses. After all those decisions have been considered, integrate them and examine the performance to ensure consistent spending in each department. Analyze the results and assess if they are consistent with your strategy. Also consider your leverage ratio and the opportunity to issue new debt or equity, refinance, declare dividends, or repurchase stock.
Nicole, what are some recommendations for how the new management team should approach making difficult decisions?
Well, Travis, the decision-making process will be one of the most important determinants in successfully managing the company. Our company's poor performance in the first 5 years of our management oversight were reflective of our fragmented process. We each had our roles to analyze different aspects of the company, like marketing, distribution, development, etc. We made the mistake of having each person become the sole decision maker for that field without consulting each of us in the other roles and realizing how each decision needed to be cohesive towards a larger strategy. Remember, each team member is just one part of the larger team. Bring your thoughts and ideas together, discuss them, analyze how decisions made in manufacturing need to tie into decisions for marketing, and weigh your options to come to the right one. In a broader picture, again, through thorough team discussion, make sure that the combination of individual decisions looks towards the future. Remember, you're running a business, and a good business must be profitable, not just now, but in the long run as well.
Chip, tell me about the best way to approach an ethical challenge. During your time as part of the management team, what kind of ethical dilemma did your team face, and how did you approach it?
Great question, Travis. When addressing an ethical challenge, always make sure to evaluate how consumers would react if the facts were plastered on the front page of the Wall Street Journal. When we were confronted with an ethical dilemma, after a routine environmental impact audit, we quickly moved into action and invested $250 million and a recapturing system to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from our facilities and limit the negative effects on the total population. You always want to make sure to consider how your decisions impact the community, your employees, and of course the company itself. Though the right decision may require a short-term investment, keep in mind the long-term impact for all parties involved.
Thank you for your time today, and good luck with your new positions. We hope that our insights and recommendations are helpful in allowing you to jump right into management and grow Best Motorworks into an industry leader. We have strong products and a healthy financial outlook, and we know the company is in good hands. Best of luck, and let us know if you have any questions.